Yes, everybody, welcome back to Football United TV. This is United Across the Globe, where we're going to be talking about the win against Spurs last night. Ronaldo unhappy throwing a strop at the end of the game, and we're also going to delve into the Chelsea preview this Saturday at 5:30. But you know what's coming right now? It's the intro. Yes, everybody, welcome back to United Across the Globe. I'm joined today by Matty, Rick, and Paddy. Guys, how you doing?
Oh, good. Thanks, Matt. How is everyone?
Good. So, how's everyone else?
Very good, thank you.
Very happy, obviously, because we won last night, and I said to you, I think, before the stream that I really did think Spurs were going to win this. So we'll start with you, Matty, mate. Cracking game, 2-0. 21 shots, was it? We said 24 shots on goal.
Yeah, 24 shots, I believe.
Yeah, improving.
Yeah, definitely. You can see what Eric's trying to do. And start of the season was really poor. We conceded 6 goals in 2 games, 2 losses. And you look at the turnaround. If you'd said to me before the season starts, we're going to beat Liverpool, we're going to beat Arsenal, and we're going to beat Spurs, I'd have asked what medication you're taking, because I didn't see this transformation coming in this team, especially with the start of the season we had as well. But you can see the level of coaching that's going into it. I think the players have brought in as well has made a massive improvement. And Spurs yesterday, they didn't really do anything. We just dominated them in every aspect of the game. They offered nothing up front. The midfield was non-existent, and the defence was MIA. To say 2-0 was the fair scoreline. A bit flattering to Spurs. I thought we should have scored a few more. We didn't have anything.
What do you think, Rick, mate? What's your thoughts on that? Do you agree with Matty? Like, feel like we could have got at least a few more goals. We weren't really finishing them at the end, and the Fred goal was a deflection anyway. So really, we only got one proper goal.
I agree. We should have got more goals. I felt like as well, if Bruno and Rashford put their head up and just looked at the options around them, we could have got more goals, because I felt like they were just going for shots and glory too much. Yeah, I agree. 2-0 was a bit too flattering for Spurs. Spurs, like what Matty said, just didn't turn up. So we should have smashed them 5-6-0. But like I said earlier, we have good players up front. It's just that they're not making the right decisions in terms of being clinical goal scorers. And I feel like, yes, we've had 24 shots on goal, but we could have scored more goals if the players just made the right decisions and whatnot, or just if they squared it or whatnot. So, yeah, I agree. We should have scored more goals, and we should have smashed Spurs, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we should have. But then at the same time, I kind of was a bit weary about this game. And I'm glad to see we got over the mark anyway, because we've got an important game coming up. We will talk about that. Paddy, your thoughts? I know you didn't go to the game this time. I had to watch it on TV, unfortunately. But yeah, what do you make of it, mate?
It was good. We were on the 1 point from start to finish. Really good, great performance. 24 shots at goal by Ratchford. Ratchford seems to run like a Langer. I think he's done well so far. I can't knock him, But yeah, the performance was brilliant. The performance was good, and they were on top, and we snuffed them out. Martinez snuffed Kane out. Didn't get anywhere at all. So it was really good performance from all the way back from the keeper, the midfield, and the forwards. Even though the jury's out with me with a few of those players in that team, Matty. I'm sorry, it upsets a few people. Matty knows me from the agenda. I still don't rate some of our players that played well last night at all, and still will stick with it.
Yeah, but Paddy,
who are they? Sorry, guys, you can go back and forth. I just want to know who these players are.
Yeah, I still don't rate Luke Shaw for me. Still not for me. Dalot, people are going to go, oh my god, Dalot is playing really well. Dalot not for me. Definitely not Fred. Yeah, and I think we need I think Ratchford. I think we need a striker. He can have 24 shots at goal, even though we're getting 3 points for winning. I know what you're going to say, Matty. I know we're in transition. I'm going to take time. I know what you're going to say, but I still want the bar raised. In our team, and I bet Ten Hag is doing that. He knows what to do. Hopefully, but I know City are up there, but we're with it. But I still want to raise that bar a little bit up there. And you're right. We've beaten up Arsenal. We've beaten Liverpool. Beaten Spurs. Now I thought we're going to get beat. But I still want better, Matty. I'm not happy. That's it.
Yeah, Paddy, I don't think any Man United fan is properly happy up until we're competing against the Cities and the Madrids and the Liverpools, but that's going to take time. We're in Project Eric now. He's had one transfer window. We spent a bit too long chasing one player.
Yeah. I know, Matt. Let me come in there for one bit. He still thinks Martial. What worries me with Ten Hag points that he still thinks Martial is still good, and it worries me on his judgment call. I know what you're saying. Time will tell, Matty. So I don't want to go back to the Martial thing. Go on. Yeah.
With Martial, I'm not his biggest fan. But if Eric thinks he can get a tune out of him and get him playing well, I'm going to back him, and I'll do the same with Rashford and Bruno and all the other players. Because at the end of the day, Eric's choosing to keep these players. It's not like he's looking to unload them.
Martial's been there for 30 years now, Matthew.
Yeah, and I've always said Martial's good, but he's inconsistent.
But Wan-Bissaka, Matty, isn't that the board that didn't allow him to get rid of him? And they said you have to keep him. Is that maybe happening throughout maybe the squad? That some of the players are being kept because the owners want to keep them specific reasons.
Phil Jones, that's a crime, really. Now it must be a crime. Is that being investigated by the police for being kept at this club for so long on that mad contract? Because how does that work? How is he? When's he bringing him up, Phil Jones? He does that. I'll cry.
Look who gave him the contract. Paddy, look who gave him the contract. It wasn't the current infrastructure. Now, I'm not a fan of the current infrastructure. I've said that. I'm not going to change my stance. I'm sceptical about Arnold, Murto, Fletcher, and O'Boyle. The jury's still out on them for me. But Phil Jones was given a contract under Ed Woodward. We saw what an utter show the club became under him and what he chose to do. And although we're now changing it, it's still going to take time.
Well,
and that
Jones's contract should be.
You're not going to eradicate the mistakes of yesterday overnight.
Yeah, and also who's going to want to buy those players as well? To be honest, like Jones and Martial, like they're expensive. That's one. Their contracts are too high, and most Premier League clubs are like thinking, "Oh, they're toxic anyway, so I'm not going to buy them." That's why we're struggling to get rid of them. They're just on our books because United done rubbish business. To be honest,
there's got to be an investigation of how that contract was given to. But it doesn't matter. It's the past now. Moving forward, you're right. Yeah. It's just we don't. But some of these players are still existing now in that squad, and our squad depth's pretty poor. I think it's poor. Our squad depth's poor, isn't it? If you look at the bench, you go, there's the youngsters on there. Don't get me wrong, we should not throw much. I think they've gone out and a few others need to come on. But when you look at the bench, you go, there's no Phil Foden or Grealish on the bench, is there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but we're still suffering the effects of Ed Woodward and what he's done. That's not going to be eradicated overnight. And
they've replaced one idiot with another idiot because the other one, not Murta, the other chief execs is Woodward's mate, and they're all in the same unit. They're both accountants. That's all they are basically.
Yeah. Well, that was best mates in university. I believe it was University of Bristol. Ed Woodward and Richard Arnold were best mates. So
it's mates things. It's just like
nepotism,
getting
stupidity, isn't it? Massively.
Nepotism again.
Yeah.
Just stuns me. Absolutely stuns me. Anything else about the game? Did you expect more from Spurs? I mean, Harry Kane's had a few chances, but he seems a little bit off at the moment.
He's average. Harry Kane's average to me. I mean, he's come to Old Trafford in the past. He's never had a good game at Old Trafford. I don't know why, but to me, he's poor. But Martinez, bless him, I think there's a bit of argy-bargy between Martinez and Kane last night. I saw that and I thought, great, that means he got rattled. He didn't have his proper game, but he got these forwards we didn't make them play. They didn't play, did they? They weren't allowed to play. And everyone gives Martinez a lot of stick because of his height. He might be 3'4", but he's not, is he? He's still a strong player, and he's doing really well. Him and Varane are doing well. That partnership with back's good as long as Varane stays injury free. Because my worry with Varane is that he's made of glass.
Yeah, and we need him as well, actually, because I don't know if we have any good other centre backs other than.
Yeah, because Maguire's coming back from injury soon. You just don't want him in that centre.
Oh, mate, get rid of that guy ASAP, mate. Get rid of him.
You know, because the squad, them two get injured. You got Lindelof, and you got Maguire back in there, and that will upset the apple cart straight away. We want that consistency now. We don't want the inconsistency, do we? Because we're doing well after last night.
So we need a new centre back as pretty quick, don't we? We don't want to be seeing Harry Maguire and Lindelof coming back in, do we? That's the thing. No. Martinez has been good though. It's nice to see him still doing well, wearing the shirt with pride. We haven't seen that for a long time from our defenders, so it's nice. Let's move on then to another part of the game that we do need to talk about, because pretty much everybody has been talking about it. Ronaldo Struppi after the game, walking down the tunnel, not joining in the celebration and the cheer of winning at home against a team that we all feel is in the race for the top four.
Well, Matty, just come back on that. I don't know if you've seen it, Matty, today, that Ronaldo will be banished from the first team squad after refusing to come on. And that's been reported by Laurie Whitwell of The Athletic tonight. So that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
I like this.
Same.
I like the actions they're taking. It's like,
yeah.
If you're going to be petulant, you ain't going to play. You ain't going to be part of the team. You ain't going to be part of the squad.
I also think as well, no one's bigger than the club as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, massively.
We can't let a player behave like that, because then if Eric was to let that slide, then more players will start behaving like that, and then you'll get a dressing room revolt like we had under Oli and under Ranić and whatnot. So we need to stamp it out as soon as possible. So
it's good that he's getting banished. It's essentially player power. We've got to revoke player power.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Woodward gave the players the power back when he refused to sell Paul Pogba and Anthony Martial, which was under Jose Mourinho's time at the club. The moment Ed Woodward decided to do that, you're giving them players power over the manager and over the coach, whatever you want to call them. Some prefer manager, some prefer coach. The moment you do that, you give them players power. You just know that they can do whatever they want, and we've seen that under Oli. We also seen it under Ralph. I like the fact that now the club's allowing Eric to essentially dictate and do what he's paid to do, which is right. Be a manager, be a coach. If you're going to choose drop, you ain't going to be part of the next game. You ain't going to be part of the squad or the team for the next game. And no, you'll be going soon enough. I said ages ago, Ronaldo needs to go anyway. I don't know why the club kept hold of him.
Same.
He's a third.
You're right, Matt. Shirt sells, but at the end of the day, though, he doesn't really fit our plans anymore. And the style of football that Eric's trying to play, especially when you're playing intricate passes and running in behind, Ronaldo's not good enough for that anymore. Like, he's too slow. Yes, he gets into the right positions at the right time if you give him the perfect ball. But 9 out of 10 times he never gets the perfect ball. So it's almost like you've got a sack of potatoes on the pitch sometimes. Actually, to be honest with Ronaldo.
Yeah, I think there's two parts. There's like Eric's got to handle a big player there, he's a big player at the club, and Fergie did that too. But then again, it's difficult with Fergie because the respect that Ronaldo had for Fergie was paramount. He might have had a strap now and again, but Fergie knew how to handle him, and that's the thing with Ten Hag, that he's got to do that. But you're right, and you lads have said, I've seen the glory days of Ronaldo and before he left Real Madrid, and I'm never, you never go back to recapture your former glories. I think that's been the error of judgment on Ronaldo, because he was before Real Madrid. It was the business for Man, but that was the time. That time passed, didn't it?
So go and match your ex. You don't do that.
Yeah. So it's done. It's done. We don't go back. We move forward. Like you say, we want to get little Anthony. Look at him, little diamond in the rough. Look at him turning those two players last night.
He was brilliant yesterday. Fantastic.
There's two. Did you see that switch? He did the turn round, and the two players got sold. You see that, Matty? The two players. I thought it was brilliant, and that's what United fans want to see, don't they? A bit of from our clubs have always had produced magical players, haven't we? George Guest, So yeah, it was lovely to see. Yeah.
So what do you suggest with Ronaldo then? Get rid of him as soon as possible, January, hopefully. I mean, it's difficult to get rid of a player in January who it looked like
in January, let him go.
But it looked like this summer that nobody wanted him anyway. So maybe this is another reason why he did stay.
I think part of the reason nobody wanted him is because you had to pay a transfer fee, plus you've got his wages. No team's going to pay a transfer fee plus the amount of wages that he wants per week. And that's for a 37-year-old player because there's no sell-on value. There's no resale value. Cut your ties, let him go for free. I hope your team picks him up. I think if a team can get him for free, but would be willing to pay his wages, I think they'll take him. I think it's more the transfer fee plus the wages on top.
Agreed.
I think he'd be better going to Sporting Lisbon. I think that's probably the best place for him.
Yeah,
fair.
And then the MLS, because he clearly wants to still be in the Champions League. They will be in the Champions League next year. They're not going to say, no, we're not playing you, Ronaldo, because he literally will be, the player power will exist there because he's adored, isn't he, in Lisbon? So, yeah, I agree with you, Matty. I think get rid of him, hopefully, in January on a free. Don't ask for any money. But you know how the Glazers work. They'll want something for it. They'll want to make some sort of money back.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest issue at the club, the Glazers. The Glazers are always going to be the biggest issue at the club because it's always going to be about what they're getting out of it. They're not going to give you anything for nothing. You've got to earn them. We saw in the summer transfer window how much had to fight to get in the players that we did and what we spent. And then you look at what the board has said since then, where is it? Well, we're not going to be doing that again.
Scandalous.
Yeah, totally agree.
And also the owner didn't the potential buyer of Man United, what's his name now? Matty, you remind me.
Jim Ratcliffe.
Yeah, he didn't have an interview. He made some contact with the Glazers, and the Glazers, well, he got nothing back from them. They don't want to sell the club, which is not shocked, but it doesn't have. And it again keep back to the 58 group, doesn't it? Doing the protests, we've got to carry this.
Indeed, we've got to carry on. Yeah.
Well, I suppose the positive light at the moment seems to be that there is a price on the club. I've seen it going around social media the past couple of weeks or so that there's put a price 9 or 10 billion. That's the price that's been quoted for the club by the Glazers. But it's a starting point. Before it was case of we're not for sale. They've now put a price on the club, so their stance is changing. You don't go from saying the club's not for sale to going, we want 9 billion or 10 billion.
But to be honest, though, who's buying the club for that price, though? Let's be realistic now.
No one's buying the club for that price. But what's made them change the stance from going, the club's not for sale, to going,
true. I agree, true.
We want 10 billion or we want 9 billion. There has to have been something that's changed for the Glazers to make them sit down and actually go, well, we'll take this. And for me, that's showing that although it's unlikely that they're selling, they've put a price on it, and they've put a price on it for a reason.
I think that's actually, I mean, I don't in realistic terms, but in football terms, that's actually a fair deal. You'll definitely make your money back in 10 years if you buy it for 10 billion, trust me.
No, of course, yeah. You know how to make money, yeah.
Yeah.
So there will be people out there with a lot of money, like you've seen it with Newcastle. There's plenty of other people out there that are in the hundreds of billions of worth that will be looking at this going, maybe I would like to do this. We can only hope, and that they are decent people as well, of course, because that is always a problem, isn't it, when you get new owners and they possibly sometimes come from certain areas where people are not too happy, like the Newcastle regime and the Man City thing as well. So you don't want the controversy, do you?
The states, aren't they? If a state buys a football club, you're stuffed in. What can you do? How can you compete against the state who have bought a football club? You just, you know what I mean? It's hard work, isn't it? Man City have done such a good job, though, haven't they? You know, they've done.
Oh, mate, honestly, the way they're running the club and the fact that they go to pretty much most of their games and the community work they do as well, like you say,
the redevelopment as well they did in East Manchester as well. Yeah, fantastic. You can't hate on it. Even as a United fan, I can't hate on it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It is for the kids at the end of the day, isn't it? You know, that's why we love this sport as well. We want to see it in a good light for our kids.
The biggest club in Manchester, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for us, we are, and we have the history, we have everything. Man City are the nearly hands, aren't they? To be fair, that will always be the way, unfortunately, for them.
Paddy, we have kids at Man City training facilities wearing the United shirt with pride.
Yeah.
Good. Well,
We don't. We send them over there and then we bring them back over here. That's what we do.
Well, did we take one of their kids? I think his name's Charlie Taylor, the young striker. Scored a lot of goals. He was actually in City's Youth Academy, but he's a United fan and he's now at United, isn't he?
There you go.
Yeah.
Sancho as well, of course.
Yeah, Sancho.
So who?
I think his name's Charlie Taylor, the young striker.
Sancho. Did you say who? Who's Sancho? Where does he play for?
He played for City, didn't he? He was academy.
Oh, Jayden.
He played for United now. When did he start playing for us?
Oh, sorry, yeah. You're making a joke. That's the thing, though. Talking about Sancho, maybe just a little bit here. He was doing really well in the Bundesliga with a team that was okay.
Yeah.
Like they were decent. He had Haaland as well, but he was doing brilliantly. Him, Jude Bellingham. Why can't he seem to get off on the good foot with Man United since he's been there? I mean, he's had like glimpses, hasn't he? You think, wow, like that.
He runs down the sideline. I watched him where I sit at United. I watched him go on then, and then back again, and then moves it and back again. I mean, I was talking to Amanda said last night, and the general goes, "Oh, he does a good job, and he mixes the game." And to be fair, that's a cop out. That is, that's a massive cop out saying that for he's part of the team. He needs to be his own man and cut in there. But and again, one of our old colleagues and Jen will say that the fact that there's no wingers in the game anymore, I don't believe that anymore.
I don't believe that even now.
Yeah, I mean, there is wingers in this game, and there is Kanchalskis and the Ryan Giggs go down the line. Come on, there's still room for wingers in this game. It's not changed that much, has it? The football, but wingers not to play. Come on, no way is it?
Now, my issue with Sancho, sorry to cut in there, is that in the Bundesliga he had a lot of space and a lot of time to do what he needed to do. Like if you look at the goal he scored against Liverpool, that was basically Bundesliga style defending, where he had a million acres of space and a lot of time to score a goal. And I feel like in the Premier League, when you're playing against a good defense that track down players and shut down space within a second or two, Sancho's brain and his play style gets a bit frazzled. So it's like he wants to like beat the man and he wants to do the 1-2 flicks to beat the man. But the thing is, he hasn't developed his technical skills to that level where he can do that in the Premier League. He can do it in the Bundesliga day in, day out, but in the Premier League, because it's a much quicker game and you got to be smart and you got to outwit these defenders, that's why I think he struggles a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think it's been taught in Germany. You've got to have a bit more time to sit and think about what you're doing out on the pitch. In England, you don't have that. No, it's a much more faster, much more physical, much more intense league and game. And I think he's still adapting. As well as that, with the team going through the transition, and he's been under 3 coaches as well. He's been under Ole's been under Ralph, now it's under Eric. Now, each of them have got their own different style of how they want the team to play, which he's got to kind of adapt to. When he was at Dortmund, he didn't have that. And he had a better supporting network around him, which made it easier. When he was playing on the right for Dortmund, he had Hakimi as a right back, which means he didn't really have to worry about anything as much as he knew Hakimi would be up and down that right-hand side. He didn't have to worry about defensive elements or staying out wide to put crosses in, which allowed him to play infield slightly. But he doesn't have any of that, Man United.
Yeah, but Matty, I don't think he's turned up, mate. I really don't. I think he can't. He may have had the 3 coaches, Matty, but to be fair, he is not. That's Clark. I think that's sugarcoating it. I think that the fact that he just has not put. I mean, look at Haaland. Haaland's coming to City. I know you've got a great team he's in and all that, but you still got to be your own man, haven't you? You've got to be your own man in your team.
Yeah.
And you've got to perform the best.
I don't think Haaland is the cherry on the icing on top of the cake for City.
Yeah, he's their perfect striker.
It was a bit of a bad comparison, but he just hasn't come to the fore.
I get what you're saying, Paddy. It's a bit like Luis Diaz. You look at Luis Diaz. Diaz gone to Liverpool. He's hit the ground running. Sancho hasn't really hit the ground running.
Why?
I just think it's.
You think of the season he came in, though, it was absolutely terrible.
Yeah,
he came at the
it's a
wrong time, in my
culmination.
opinion. Now,
Yeah.
if you think about
It's a
it,
culmination of different things. Plus, I think the price tag doesn't help.
Well,
There's
that's
a big price tag on his head.
Imagine being told you're the signing of one of the summer signings of that season, and it was one of the worst seasons Man United.
But Matty, the problem is if you come in a price tag, same happened with Grealish at City. You know, he's not 100 million. I definitely get that, but you have to handle that at Man United. The C players have to handle it at United, or you will just die. You'll become part of the graveyard of those players that didn't make it. And Pogba and a few of them who were failures. It'll be next season. When are you going to start playing, mate? When are you going to start raising your game? I don't care who you manage by. When are you going to start performing, fella? All right, I'm not going to give out your price tag. You've got to start performing.
Paddy, but I feel like I still think we should give him a bit more time, just a little bit more time, because he's still a young talent in India. I think he's 20, 21 years old. So he's still young. He's still developing into the game.
I would judge Sancho at the end of next season. That gives him essentially 2 years under Eric. See where he is then, and then make a judgment on him, because then it'd have had a team that's progressing forward in the right way under one coach who's got a style and a system of play that he's trying to implement. At the moment, he's gone under Ole, gone under Ralph, and under Eric. So he's kind of got to adapt his game. Plus, got to adapt his game to the players he's got in and around him.
I've got a feeling Matty's not going to do it, mate. I've got to be honest. I know
if he doesn't do it,
but look,
just sit there and say it's not been good enough.
It kind of reminds me of the pay situation, because he didn't work out very well. Then he went on and he actually has become a fairly decent player, like better than what he was at Man United. So I just kind of wonder, like, if you do just give it a little bit more time. We've even been linked with him to come back. So obviously he has been Memphis to pay.
Yeah, he's coming back.
I wouldn't mind him coming back, to be honest. Yeah. Don't mind.
Instead of Sancho?
Well, if you're looking at it in the long term, then you'd want Sancho because he's younger and he's got the potential to become a top player. But obviously, if you're talking short term fix, get Memphis back. He's been playing brilliant football in the last 2-3 seasons. Anyways, I'd happy to have him back.
Yeah. If you can get the pay in January for free and move Ronaldo on, let him go for free.
Yeah, let him go.
That's a good deal.
The pay might not be as good as Ronaldo, but I think he'll fit in better to what Eric wants.
Mm-hmm. The only player we've had that come back is Mark Hughes. That's it. The only player that's come back well. Has come back. Ronaldo's come back. Of course, I don't think he's recaptured what he did, but the only player I can think of Mark Hughes when he returned back to the club and brought him back. I think he was the only one I can remember.
Yeah, true. Him and Ronaldo are the only two I remember in my lifetime anyway, yeah. Let's read some comments out. Sorry to everybody in the comments for not doing it at the start of the show, but thank you for tuning in. Smash the share, like, subscribe if you can. Big G says, evening, gents. He says, passionately, United was 10 out of 10. Now the key thing is consistency. Completely agree. He says, boo, Maguire. I think anyone likes Maguire. Have you seen that thing of the memes on social media of people like unwrapping their birthday present and it's a Man United shirt and on the back it's got Maguire number 4.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They're like, oh my God, that must hurt him when he sees them. Poor Maguire. I feel sorry for him a little bit. For me, Ronaldo is unwilling to adapt. Look at Messi. At PSG, he had to change his game, but Ronaldo doesn't want to. Frustrate him, to say the least. Anyone agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think he's,
Ronaldo needs the team built around him, but you can't build the team around a 37-year-old player.
Yeah, who's about to leave in a season or two, probably even in the next couple months.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
Big up, lads. If Ronaldo goes off in a strop, then he should know better at his age. I won't worry about it. He'd be gone in January. Yeah, it's sort of like the Aubameyang situation, isn't it, Anthony? Because you seem a lot better getting rid of that, boisterous player, and it's proven right. Big G, I know it's easy for me to say, but just grow some balls, Sancho. I'm with Paddy on this one. Yeah, you just think he needs to man up a little bit and take it in his stride. Yeah.
Big club. Crack on, and we are going to crack on to the weekend Chelsea preview. Can we get the 3 points we need? I think we do need to get these 3 points, and this will prove that Eric Ten Hag's, chopped off a few of the big wigs at the end of the day. I know we lost to Man City by 6-3, but
but we have beaten Arsenal, we have beaten Liverpool, we have beaten Spurs, and if we can do Chelsea, I think it looks good for Ten Hag, and I think the club and the team will probably look at it in a positive light and try and rock on and go for top 4, because these are the heads that we really do need to scalp, right, Matt?
Definitely. Can we get the 3 points? Yeah. I don't look at Chelsea and be fearful of them. I look at Chelsea. So that's that. I'd love for us to beat them simply because all these journalists and ex-players you should have got Graham Potter ahead of Eric Ten Hag, and I'm bored of hearing that. I hope turn Chelsea over just to prove a point to them that yeah, we do have the better coach. That's the thing, guys. Potter, I do right. Potter, I think he's a fantastic coach. But if you give me a choice, Eric or Graham, I would take Eric. I think he's the better coach. And as for Chelsea, I'm not scared of them. I don't see them having any player that I look at that will go, we need to be careful of him. We need to be wary of him. These are good players. They've got some good players, but I'm not scared of him. I think kind of whole, we've probably got a better squad and a better team.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you on that. And I see Chelsea, Rick, the other day, maybe yesterday, actually. It was 1-1, wasn't it, with Brentford?
No, actually. No.
Oh, no. Sorry. Beg your pardon. I did hear it was a draw. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on this, mate? Do you think this, what Matty said pretty much, not scared of them? We could do Chelsea in their own backyard?
Yeah, definitely. And also, they've got some injuries as well. I think they've lost Reece James. They ain't got Kante as well. So I feel like, I'm not saying Chelsea are pushed over a football club, but with the injuries that they've got and they've lost some key players as well, I think we can give them a run for their money, actually. I think 3 points, yeah, I'm pretty confident that we can get the 3 points of Chelsea. Yeah, and also I agree with what Matty's saying as well. I feel like I'd want United to beat Chelsea just to shut the commentators up about us getting Potter over Ten Hag. So, and also if we win as well, it proves that Ten Hag's been turning the team around since we lost since they started the season. So, yeah, I'm confident.
Yeah, I can't believe they're gloating about the Potter thing. I would I agree with both of you, and I'm pretty sure Paddy may agree as well that I prefer Ten Hag over Graham Potter. He is a great manager, but I think this might be a step too far for him. I think you'll see him.
You're better off at the Villa. Better off at the Villa, with him, Matty.
I don't know whether he's going to succeed there. I just can't see. I can't see it. I'd love to see it. I think he deserves it, but I just can't see it. I think this is a big task. Brighton's it's a different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
And I think once the shite hits the fan, I think he'll realise that they'll want him out the door very quick. And he ain't.
I still think he's a good manager, though.
Oh no, he is. I just think Chelsea's a big if he loses 2 or 3 games, they'll just want him out, mate.
I think he's doing a decent job there, actually, to be honest. And I know a few Chelsea fans, so we bang on about it sometimes. And I think he's doing a decent job. Like he's not going to win. He's not going to win the league, obviously. He's not going to win the league, and he's not going to win Champions League or whatnot. But like, I think he's going to push that team in the right direction. And I feel like he's a manager that's, he thinks outside the box a little bit, and I like his play style. He's not too far off Ten Hag, actually. To be fair, I like him. But I still think we'll smash him.
Yeah, we'll smash him. Paddy.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right on Potter. Actually, I think you might be right. In time, it may not work because the Chelsea, like they all think they're bigger than anything else, don't they? They wish we winning leagues, mate. Yeah. Smash them, mate. You know what I mean, Sam? I think, but when momentum is with us because we've won, but I said we don't get carried away. But my worry with us is our inconsistency. One weekend we'll play like that, and then suddenly next week we go the opposite way, and then and Fred obviously thinks he's the best midfielder in the world. Will be shite on Saturday, and we'll go. And he was good the weekend on the Wednesday. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I hope it doesn't. I hope we continue the momentum through and we do well. But sometimes I don't know. I just think that our the momentum. I don't know. Our inconsistency comes in, and I don't know. I've got again. I thought Spurs would do us, but they didn't, did they? And we've done them. So Chelsea, I don't know. I think, but Chelsea fans do have it up, and I'll be so chuffed if we beat them because they have got a bit of an ego, haven't they? Chelsea. Well, yeah, mate. Yeah, we're the best. We're going to win the league, mate. We're better than the arse, aren't we? Better than the old bloody Spurs down the road as well. And our owners are superb, mate. I loved it when they didn't have any owners and the Russians pulled out. That was the best one, wasn't it? They were all crying. They had no money, didn't they? I was crying. Oh, good. The Russians gone, is he? You're done, mate. But we've
They
got
won't.
Americans in there, and they're going to change. I think they're not going to have any patience when the managers are they.
That's what I'm worried about with him is he going to be able to bring in players that he wants, or are they going to be picking them? Because I'm hearing that Todd Bowley, isn't it, wants to be the man behind the signings.
He's doing like a baseball style management system.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's it called? Moneyball. Moneyball, isn't it? You seen that film?
Yeah, I've heard about that film. Yeah.
Yeah, Brad Pitt. It's Jonah Hill. It's really good, actually. I think that's exactly what he's trying to imitate.
Oh, right, okay, interesting.
What do you think the result? What do you think the result will be, guys?
I think I can't tell.
I can't tell you.
I'm going to go 2-1, Man U.
I was literally thinking that, Matty. I was thinking that as well, 2-1.
I think the opposite. I think Chelsea might do us because I worry about this inconsistency. We're just not consistent enough, and I'm just interested. I'm interested to see what the result will be. I hope we turn up again. But like I said, 21 shots at goal last night by I don't know, but we can't. You know, my worry's scoring goals. The Rashford could run like a gazelle, couldn't he? But he's finishing. You know, leaves a lot to be desired. He does finish and he does score goals, but it worries me a little bit about our finishing and having those chances that we can't convert.
Yeah, I that's something we got to sort out, isn't it? It's all right having the amount of shots, but not only scoring 2 out of them. I don't know. It's not great. It's good that we're making chances.
But that's where we need a striker.
Yeah.
Now, ideally, we'd go get Lautaro Martinez. I mean, he would be my first choice. We know the club are looking for a striker. It's just going to take time though. But at the moment, the team's not doing too bad. I'd be more concerned if we're not creating the chances. If we're not creating chances, then we are in serious trouble. But at the moment, we seem to be creating the chances and opening teams up. Now, Sunday against Newcastle, it wasn't a bad result, to be fair, the 0-0. We should have won the game. But, you know, I'll take a point. No, I didn't expect us to beat Spurs. I didn't expect Spurs to roll over in the way they did. And that, but it seems to be the harder the opposition, the better we see play. The only exception from that is Man City, but Man City are just miles ahead of everyone else anyway. So it's pointless trying to even compete against them at the moment with where we are in our own stage.
I don't know how we're going to be able to compete with them. Maybe just buy sensible transfer. You know, like not making like these big signings like say PSG are trying to do, because they're not actually achieving what they want to do, are they? They got the big names, etc. They can sell shirts, absolutely. You know, look at the way Mbappe's acting at the moment. It's pretty disgraceful, like what's going on there. You don't want to go down that route, and Man City haven't got that because all their players are on board, aren't they?
Yeah,
you know, like, even when they lose, I saw when they lost against Liverpool, and you could see at the end they were hugging each other and that, and you could tell that they were sort of saying, "No, we got to do better next time. We can't let that happen." Like, and you just know that they're going to go back on the pedal and start smashing teams again. You know, so we need to get to that level where we used to be, because they're just imitating us, aren't they? That's clearly what they do.
Well, they're very lucky. They got a great manager. They got good players. I mean, I do like Phil Foden. For me, has been the standout, hasn't he, for City? Hasn't he?
Brilliant player.
Yeah.
I mean, and Bruno Silva,
Haaland and De Bruyne, Paddy. Haaland and De Bruyne are just exceptional.
Brilliant. So jealous. Seriously, well done.
Didn't United get offered Haaland a couple seasons ago? If my memory serves me right, and we said no.
I've not heard anything about us getting offered Haaland. I know we wanted him.
Inquired about him, yeah.
Yeah, we inquired about him when he was playing at Molde, and Murto, through time zone differences, missed the phone call about getting him, and then
Standard United, mate.
Yeah,
standard.
And then when he was at,
he was at Molde at the time. This is even before the Salzburg move. Oh my god!
Yeah. And because of our times, then there's a 2-hour time zone difference, and Murto missed a phone call about getting it.
2 hours.
Three blind mice.
Man United.
I didn't know that story.
Only Man United can do that.
No,
at Salzburg, we inquired again.
And it was under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have us the one.
The biggest thing we had for that signing and we couldn't get it done. Like, it was his manager, and he's a legend at the club, but yet he went to Salzburg.
I'm wondering if his father's influence though have a lot on United City thing. I wonder.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, his dad probably was like, "Listen, don't pick up the phone, lad."
Yeah.
Well,
Don't ever go
the
there.
thing about Haaland is
Roy
he
Keane.
wants to follow Ibrahimovic. He wants to play for multiple different teams. He doesn't want to settle at one team. He's already got a release clause at Man City, which is 200 million, but I think it's to like foreign teams only. So will he stay at City forever? No, he'll probably go Madrid, then probably go Italy, then probably go Germany,
Or
France,
France.
wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be a journeyman footballer.
And then
I'd
China.
rather us go get a player who's going to be here for the long term and fits into the plans anyway.
I don't want him back when he comes back at 39. Say, oh, we got a chance of signing Haaland. He's 39. Fancy him.
You probably will, Paddy. We'll get him when he's like 42 or
Oh,
something, and be like, yay. Ibrahimovic, number 2.
Yeah, that's who we wanted to follow, Matt. Ibrahimovic.
Tall and from Scandinavia. We seem to. I got some comments here actually. Is Paddy the new Bond villain with his cat? No, he's the original Bond villain. He is the numero uno. He's not an
Good
imitator.
evening, Mr. Bond. Good evening, Mr. Bond.
Chelsea haven't gelled yet, so we have probably just got there based on last game. However, we've got to do the same. Time will tell. Agree with that. Miss Melina, hi all. Big up, Miss Mel.
Hi, Miss Melina.
Bet she's loving life at the moment, isn't she, with Arsenal?
The Arsenal are doing well. The Arsenal are doing well, unfortunately, aren't they?
They're actually on now as well, aren't they? I forgot about that. It's an early kickoff, isn't it?
How is it?
Yeah, 6 o'clock randomly for a Premier League. I don't think there's ever happened.
No, it's they're playing PSV actually.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's the Europa League game.
Europa League. That's why it's 6. Sorry. Wash hands. I don't know what the emoji is or whatever it is, the thing that he was doing there, but it just says wash hands. Anyone know?
I have no idea.
Like that,
I've got that
It's COVID a bit.
Big up talk anyway. Big G, how do Miss Melina? Anthony Herbert reckons it's going to be a 2-2 draw. It's going to be a tight one. I have heard talks that Gakpo is on United radar again. Anyone want to discuss that a little bit?
Yeah, Gakpo. I think he's got the same number of goal contributions as Haaland this season, but he's a left-sided right-footed player, plays in the Eredivisie. Not seen much of him play. I think it's a good player, but are we buying him as a wide forward or is we buying him as a through-the-middle forward? If we're looking at him as a number 9, I'd rather not. I'd rather just go get a proper out-and-out number 9.
Agree, yeah.
Than getting a wide player and then just putting him through the middle.
Has Benfica got a good number 9, haven't they, Matty?
Goncalo Ramos.
Yeah,
he's actually rated. He's actually rated better than Nunes. By people at Benfica.
Probably cost that 25 million as well. We might as well go and get him. Actually, to be fair.
Yeah. We need one definitely. I'm going to give Ratford a bit of competition as well. Definitely, we need covering there. We need a good squad, don't we?
And there any players coming through the academy as well that are good up front as well.
Yeah. Garnacho looks good, I think, wasn't he?
I forgot about him. He looks good. Yeah.
We've got to give him a chance, haven't we, at some point? And we've still got the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, maybe, if we want to use some of the players and try and give them a run out like we used to do. You know how we used to see these players come in like during the FA Cup, etc. I used to like that from Sir Alex Ferguson because you see some gems coming through. Big G says no more Galactico philosophy for signings. That mentality has knackered this club. And Anthony, I think the Gakpo deal is already done last summer. Just United ran out of cash. His interview earlier to the week spoke volumes. Right, we're going to end up there then, ladies and gentlemen. We are all done. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Smash like, share, subscribe if you can. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Matty, thanks, mate. Where can we find you?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me on. You can normally find me on the Takeaway and the Man United Agenda on Friday night. You can also find me on Twitter at MattyAdam87, where I tweet all kinds of madness, random shit.
Cheers, Matty, mate. Rick, cheers for coming on, bro. Thank you
Cheers.
so much.
You can find me at Rick Sanchez DJ on Instagram and Twitter. My Twitter is mostly me talking about football, cricket, and F1. While my Instagram is mostly just music stuff. So follow up and just stay in contact.
Cheers, mate. Nice one. Paddy, mate, thanks for coming on. Where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter on Admiral Patrick number 11 Admiral, and also JFK KPOD, my acting. But also as well, I'm on the agenda now and again. I must say now and again, so it's all good.
Cheers, Paddy. And thank you to everybody in the comments as well. Smash a like, share, subscribe if you can. Go and follow everybody if you can as well. And we will see you Saturday for MLS and Liga MX talk with Michelle Sanchez from CBS Sports. She's coming back on. And we'll be back for United Across the Globe on Tuesday. But ladies and gentlemen, it's been a blast. See you later.